Kettle, America's #1 all-purpose flour, and Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, present June and Stu Irwin in Trouble with Father.
Hi there, I'm Mike Fitzmaurice. Broadcasting these games for you, I get to watch lots of champs. And you know what sparks a champion sparks you. And champions choose Wheaties. Look, I'll show you what I mean.
Here's a sight you may never see again, but even though the great DeMage has retired from baseball, the magic of television can bring him back in one of his most thrilling performances. Now he's all set. Here comes the pitch. It's a hit. It's out there. It's going. A terrific home run way out there in the stands. This is the spark of a champion, and Joe DiMaggio really has it. He still powers up with Wheaties.
And what sparks a champion sparks you. There's that same driving power for you in Wheaties with milk and fruit, ready to spark you at whatever you do, because there's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Let's look inside this ripe wheat kernel and find out why. The bran is loaded with vitamins and minerals and good rich protein. Here's the energy in the endosperm. Wheaties gives you all the grain because there's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Don't be satisfied with less. Remember, what sparks a champion sparks you. And champions choose Wheaties. Breakfast of Champions.
Anybody home? Well, hello, Adele. Sit down. Oh, family deserted you again, I see. Now, Adele, don't be loyal, darling. You're high and dry. What do you think my family's been doing? Harry just goes his merry way. Ruined your dinner, too. At these prices. But if people think Stu's important enough to... You mean Stu thinks he's important enough to be important? No, don't now Adele me. Stu's no different from Harry or any other man. He just likes attention. Well, so do I, and so do you. Would you like some pineapple sherbet? I would not. June, you and I are going to kick up our heels. Kick up what? We're going out, see the world. What does it look like after the dishes are done? Very tempting, but no thank you. I have enough to do to keep me busy. That's exactly what I mean. You're going out, girlie, and no buts. Come on, get your coat. But where are we going? No man's land. There's a meeting of something or other over at Muriel Conway's. It's time you and I behave like first-class citizens. We've got the vote, haven't we? Lincoln freed the slaves, didn't he? Adele, really? Come on, we're busting loose, girlie. We're busting loose.
Yes, June, I did plan to stay home tonight. You've joined the Iron Lung Society. Yes, I know the world needs iron lungs, but if we eat out anymore, we'll need iron stomachs. Oh, no. You go right along. We'll manage. Goodbye. Go to bed, kids.
Hello, Mother.
Good night, Mom.
Good night, dear. Now, you can do better than that. Are you going to lecture me, honey?
I'm not one to nag, June. You know that, and I'm as broad-minded as the next fellow. Don't mind you going out with the girls once in a while, but night after night.
I know, dear, but once you get started with something, it seems there's so much to do and not enough hands to do it.
I know, but you've gone overboard.
But you told me to get out, that I was being cooped up. Besides, I think it's good for the family to learn that they can't always be waited on hand and foot.
Now, June.
Good for one's character, too. Develops reliance for the family to look out for itself.
It's not so good for the budget to eat out, not to mention our health. And look at the kids running around, growing up in the streets.
Oh, darling, it's not as bad as that.
I've started something, Stu, and I have to finish it. There are so many unfortunate people in the world. Why, only yesterday at Ada Williams, Mrs. Selkirk said...
I don't care what Mrs. Selkirk said. If Mr. Selkirk wasn't such a fathead, he'd keep Mrs. Selkirk home where she belongs.
Oh, now it's male superiority. Woman's place is in the stove.
Oh, now, I didn't mean it that way.
Well, whatever you meant, that's the way it sounded. We have a committee on that, too.
But Jackie and Joyce...
And don't throw our children up at me.
Oh, now, June. June, dog. June, please. Now see what you've got me into.
Hey, Stu, where are you? Man! Fire! Stu! Dude, get out! Fire! Fire, Stu! I'll get it! I'll get it! Fire! Stu! June! Kids, where are you? The house is on fire! Stand back, Stu! I've got it under control! Water! Water!
Oh, God. Huh?
Oh, looked like the Chicago fire.
It was a New York steak.
Oh, you too, huh?
Oh.
I haven't seen the mother of my child in a week.
Likewise.
Woman, place is in the home.
That would be nice for a change.
The only thing we got to do something about it.
I
Why are
don't
we?
do anymore.
Mine or mine?
I'm at my wit's end.
What'd you say?
Don't talk with your mouth full.
Hmm?
I said, don't talk with your mouth full.
That's a good point. I haven't had a home-cooked meal in weeks. Last night I had 2 rolls of lemon lifesavers for dinner.
That was a banquet. I had a can of Strong Heart. I guess we just have to be broad-minded about it. that's
No.
all.
Don't straddle the fence, Stu. That's where the women have it. Conquer and divide.
I mean, I can understand where a woman cooped up all day, doing the same old day in and day out routine, that when she finds a new and different activity, she latches on to it.
I think we're just as important as the Current Events Club or the Tuesday Night Debating Council or the Wednesday Night Bandage Club. We come first.
Did you tell that to Adele?
I certainly did. I put my foot down.
What happened?
She joined the Thursday Night Basket Club. Only yesterday I was talking to Artie Singer. He says the same thing about his wife. He runs the newspaper, says feeling is running high, getting quite a reaction from husbands in his Voice of the People column. You know, whither women, stuff like that.
We have to face the fact, Harry. Women are citizens, too.
Yeah, so am I. But I don't wreck my business working at it. We got to do something, Stu. Form a posse or a counter committee for men's rights.
The sanctity of the home.
That's it, go on.
Go on what?
Sanctity of the home.
Say, that's very good.
Mm-hmm. I heard it someplace.
Oh. You know something, Harry? Eve was fashioned out of Adam's rib, the most useless part of his body.
Oh, boy, I like that. Go on. Maybe how you're cutting.
Women are not only taking over our personal lives, but our economy and nation as well. According to statistics, women have a longer life expectancy than men of 7 years. And they own over 61% of the country's wealth.
It's a plot, Stu, a plot. By golly, that sounds like Adele.
Dr. Murnau, the well-known philosopher, in an address before the French Academy said, as surely as the rain falls, we will one day pattern a society after the bees. Hundreds of subservient males will serve one queen bee.
Never. Never. It's shocking, Stu. By golly, that professor's a smart cookie.
We face neither predatory prowler nor destructive element, but something far more insidious than that. An idea. It's contagious. Once a woman tastes of freedom, the home will disintegrate. The basic unit of our national life is the family. And once that goes, all is lost. Call out the vigilantes. Wait till I tell Artie Singer. Just read tomorrow's newspaper. What are you going to do? We've just declared war, Stu. War. Oh.
It is well to be civic-minded, but the sanctity of the home comes first. Today's woman is breaking the bounds of ethical behavior. Statistics prove that she has a longer life expectancy by 10 years than her husband, quite possibly because she drives him to an early grave. Huh. Mine's digging his with his teeth. She owns 71% of the country's wealth, and the zeal with which she pursues her outside interests indicates that the female of the species is bent upon creating a queen bee society in which hundreds of males will serve one female.
I'd like to see the day. What's wrong with that? You get more flies with honey. Bring on the 100.
Be it a predatory prowler or destructive element, we want our women off the rostrum and back into the home. We fling the gauntlet. Signed, Irate Husband. That's original.
Ladies, we cannot let this vile attack go unchallenged. The men, typically, think they're the only ones can do a job.
Well, they've done a job, all right.
Therefore, I will entertain a motion from this body that not only do we fling back the gauntlet to Irate Husband, but that we will challenge him in open debate.
Here, here.
Madam Chairman, Mrs. Irwin, fellow members, whatever the merit of Irate Husband's letter, I don't think we should answer it.
What?
I mean, the time and effort expended to answer such a boorish attack would divert our energies from the real issue at hand, to serve our community. This issue is age-old, and I don't think we should dignify Irate Husband by answering him.
Madam President, Mrs. Johnson, I agree with June, up to a point. But for all we know, it may be one of our own husbands.
My husband wouldn't have the nerve. Or would he?
And because June feels as she does, I believe she would have the greatest objectivity of all of us of the Ladies' Tuesday Night Debating Council, answering this person. And therefore, I now nominate her to publicly debate this issue with Irate Husband.
I move we make it unanimous. I second the motion.
But why not?
Fellas, please.
A fine article, Stu, a fine piece of rhetoric. Why, Rosie was fit to be tied when she read it.
I tell you, I didn't write it.
Harry told me you told him that...
I got every word, Stu. I'll say you did, and a lot of things I didn't say. And whatever I said, I didn't say in that way.
Don't be modest, Stu.
I was merely quoting Dr. Murnau, and we both were misquoted.
Who's he? Just moved into town?
He's a philosopher and physicist. Died in 1888.
Blow your own horn, my boy.
Someone else is blowing my horn, and all the wrong sounds are coming out.
We may as well get to the point.
Huh?
The LTNDC has accepted.
The what? Has accepted what?
The Ladies' Tuesday Night Debating Council.
Have challenged Irate Husband to a debate. And by golly, we're going to accept.
I hope we know what we're doing.
Therefore, we have decided that you are the one to take up the cudgels.
The what?
Figure of speech.
Me? Debate the ABC? Oh, no.
Oh, we're right behind you, Stu. We'll give you the necessary push.
I know that. My, but you're hasty with my neck, aren't we?
Well, since you're Irate Husband, you're particularly qualified, see?
I'm not irate. I'm not anything. I don't want any part of this. Harry, every time you open your mouth, you put my foot in it.
That's very good, Stu.
Oh, very good. Well, I won't do it. It's just a tempest in a teapot, a mountain in a moleskin or something.
You're not afraid, are you?
Afraid? Of course not. Well, why don't you great big he-men take up a cudgel or two? Artie is the logical one. It's his newspaper.
No, I'd like to, but this issue belongs to the people. As editor, I can only report it. It's not an editorial matter.
No? Well, Harry, then.
Oh, no. I'm just an ordinary businessman. My words wouldn't carry the weight of a high school principal.
In that case, how about George here? As school supervisor, he's my immediate superior. He'd carry even more weight, in more ways than one.
No, I can't do it, Stu. Anything that I say might be interpreted as official policy.
Oh, my, is this hand loaded. I'm the patsy, huh?
The what?
The figure of speech, fall guy.
You're not worried about June,
Are you afraid you couldn't win?
Oh.
Say, who's the boss in your house, anyway?
Whoa there, whoa. Now, look, fellas, get this. June and I get along fine. Oh, we do have our spats and all that, but it's never a question of who's boss. It's just about whether things are right or wrong.
Have you ever been right?
This is her house. It's my house. I respect her integrity in it, and she mine. So don't start turning any false alarms in a
By Jove, Stu, the iron fist in the velvet glove.
Silver Tongue, another William Jennings Bryan.
I guess we know who's boss.
Hail the king!
Come out of it, Stu. You get your own way once in a while, don't you?
Well, I do sort of look after things, keep the wolf away from the door, so to speak.
Sure.
Well, I have my way more often than not.
Then you're not afraid.
That's a ridiculous word.
We're not afraid. Who's not afraid? Stu's not afraid.
Jiggers! Jiggers! The wife! Go out the back way. Go on, fellas. Quick, fellas. Out the back way. The back way. Well, dear, you're home early.
Yes. Where are the children?
Well, Joyce is understudying the heroine's understudying the villain, and someone's understudying the virus. Jackie's over at Olivia's.
Good. Then we can talk.
Oh, I was doing it the hard way.
Have you read the paper today, the newspaper, dear?
Hmm?
The Voice of the People column, that irate husband letter?
Well, yes.
It was a thoroughly unprovoked attack.
June, I'd like to say something. I'm sorry for what I said the other night. I guess I was just carried away.
Well, it was rather late when I came in, and thank you for the roses.
No, I mean, it's that cock idea of mine of women's place and all of that. I guess I did feel a little sorry for myself.
Well, perhaps I have been hitting it too hard.
Oh, it's more than that. A lot of us are stuffed shirts on the idea, including myself. I'm a little stuffy, too, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Why, Stu, you make me very happy.
Well, I mean it, June. If I've interfered in the slightest, I apologize.
Why, dear, I'm really touched. I was afraid to ask you before, but now I'm not.
Afraid to ask me what? You can ask me anything you like, dear. Holler and I'll jump.
Well, the Ladies' Tuesday Night Debating Council has delegated me to challenge irate husband to an open debate.
You challenge irate husband?
Yes. I didn't want to at first, but I think he deserves to be answered.
Hey.
And this is where you come in, dear.
Me?
You're so broad-minded, you can give me a man's point of view.
Oh, yes.
What was that?
My executioner.
What?
I think we should drop this whole thing. Call it all off.
But you don't understand, Stu. I want to put irate husband in his place. Don't you pity his poor wife?
I pity him.
The council has arranged to broadcast it locally.
Broadcast? The debate?
Yes, everyone in town will be listening.
Oh.
And with you to help me, we can make irate husband miserable.
Yes, we certainly can.
We'll return to the Irwins in just a moment. Whenever you see that gold medal sack being used, oh, there's going to be something delicious for dinner. Say, this sack seems empty, though, doesn't it? And that's good, because when you open the next full sack of gold medal, there's always a welcome surprise inside. Always a whole collection of Betty Crocker recipes on the folder to give you lots of good eating ideas. Why, it's like getting a new cookbook. You hardly know which recipe to try first. One thing for sure, they'll all be delicious and inviting, made with a Betty Crocker recipe and gold medal flour. Gold medal can bake everything, from high, light, delicate textured cake to yeast bread or rolls. Betty Crocker recipes in gold medal sacks are changed frequently, so save them all. Of course, these Betty Crocker recipes work best with gold medal because they were designed to fit this dependable flour. Use them together. It's your easiest, simplest, surest way to baking success. Get gold medal, kitchen-tested, enriched flour at your grocer's. And now, back to the Irwins.
Come in.
The roast is almost done, I think.
You're a dear to help out. If you have a minute, you can go over my speech.
I've been over it, June. You haven't revised it again.
With you to help me, It gets better all the time.
Oh, you're hitting awfully hard here, June. This line, in 3,000 years of civilization, there have been only 277 years of recorded peace, none since 1861. Women couldn't do worse.
I got it from a magazine. Not only that, but in early societies when the matriarchs...
Now, whoa, wait a minute. Facts and figures can serve any purpose. I don't dispute yours, but a thing like this can get out of hand. It divides people and breaks up homes.
You're absolutely right, dear. That's why we're going to settle it once and for all when we go on the air next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
I can understand that from a male point of view, you'd like to salvage something from irate husband's nasty letter. But you're above such pettiness. I'm proud of you, Stu. You've never made me feel like anything but a partner in all you've undertaken.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we discuss an eternal issue.
June, I have a confession
One
to
that
make.
in every age asserts itself into every
June,
home.
I have to tell you something.
In every strata of society.
I have done something
Are
terrible.
women free, or are they mere chattels to serve
June.
them? What did you say, dear?
Chattels?
Can you think of a better word?
No, chattels is quite effective.
You're such a help, dear. Even if it is a man's world.
Excuse me. The roast.
You can't quit. We won't let you. Oh. Now, listen, we've been through all that before. You can't make a laughing stock of us.
I'm not worrying about us. It's me.
You've got to stand up for our rights and put the women of this town back in the home. Oh. There isn't a woman on earth that could make me...
Harry, I am not going to call you again.
Coming, dear.
See you later. But, Mr. Selkirk, as my immediate superior, I appeal to you.
No. You represent our only hope, Stu. The women have piped the tunes and we've danced long enough. But now the jig is up for them. And why? Because you are a fearless champion.
I don't want to be fearless.
But we have faith in you. Don't let us down, Stu. I'm not afraid. Harry's not afraid. Artie's not afraid. And there are scores of others. The man in the street. Excuse me, Stu. I got to pick up the wife.
But you don't seem to understand.
Irwin, the debate must go on. And why? Because the open forum, the public platform, is a democratic blessing. And it's your responsibility to see that... Wait a minute. Yeah? Oh, all right, right down. I gotta get downstairs to check the fashion page.
Oh. I won't do it. I won't. I won't do it.
You're making the announcement.
Let me down.
Fuck up, Stu. It's in the bag. No studio audience.
It's just like making a private talk.
Don't be afraid. Nobody will hear you.
I'm not afraid of anybody but my wife.
Oh, boy. No, you don't. Come on.
Fellas, please, you don't know what you're doing.
There's nothing to be nervous about, June. You have a fine speech. You'll meet irate husband face to face. I can't wait to see who he is.
I'd feel better if Stu was here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, station HROC, in conjunction with the Daily Clarion, now brings you a public service event, a word-by-word account of that age-old question, women versus men. Is today's woman truly free?
June, you're on.
Representing the Ladies' Tuesday Night Debating Council, an organization given to discussing current events from the feminine point of view, is Mrs. Stuart Irwin. And representing the male gentry, the married ones especially, is irate husband, whose original opinion, published in the Clarion, has sparked this debate, Mr. Stuart Irwin. And who better to settle this than a married couple? I'm sure you're well acquainted with these fine people. Mr. Irwin,
Father?
distinguished principal of our high
Irate
school, chairman of the
husband.
boys' camping and
Oh.
fraternity, member of the Aquinas and Civic Center luncheon clubs, and his wife, Mrs. June Irwin, member of the Parent Teachers Association, the Tuesday Night Debating Club, the Ladies' Dramatic Club, mother of 2 fine girls. And as always, the ladies first. Mrs. Irwin.
I defer to Mr. Irwin.
No. You go first, dear. I mean, Mrs. Irwin.
No, you, Stu.
No,
Mr. and Mrs. Irwin, you're on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, What I'm about to say was not what I prepared for tonight's debate. I am willing to concede that it is certainly a man's world.
Well, thank you, June. Well, this certainly puts things in a different light. With such a gracious wife, it's a little difficult to be an irate husband.
Why is Father an irate husband? I don't know. Is it the same like angry? Mother backed out to save his face. And all that time he was anonymous. Imagine. What's anomalous?
Any man anywhere to belittle those special gifts that every wife and mother brings into the home, enriching the family and the community. And therefore, we might rightly conclude that whatever the world, and it is a moot question that women could ever do differently with it, in the foreseeable future, it is quite unlikely that things will change. It is well to remember the invaluable contributions that women have made throughout history.
You're off the air, Mr. Irwin.
Throughout history, it will be proven that women have made invaluable contributions.
You're off the air, Mr. Irwin.
Stuart.
Huh?
It's dead, Mr. Irwin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Now, you're going to listen to me, Mr. Irwin. That was a fine, shabby trick.
Oh, June, honey, please, I can explain.
Explain? You're not going to say another word until we get home. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind.
June, honey, people are looking.
Let them look. Let them listen. Of all the shameful, disgraceful...
June, honey, lovey.
A man's world, huh? Wait till I get through with you. Behind every throne there was a woman.
Yes, lovey.
And more women changed the course of history.
Lovey, please.
And you're going to admit...
I do, lovey, I do.
Stu.
Huh?
You haven't called me that since our courting day.
Called you what? that.
Well, say it.
Oh, not here.
Right here and now. Say it.
Oh, June, please.
Say it.
Lovey.
Louder.
Lovey.
And don't think that sweet words are going to help you. You have 3 of us to face when we get home. Get your hat.
Yes, June, dear. Lovey. Well, I guess we did it, didn't we?
Yes, we did it, Lovey.
Brother, on your way.
Please. Now look, Lovey. Lovey!
Stu, for the faculty luncheon, here's what I suggest we have.
Soup, chicken pie, biscuits, and for dessert, chocolate cake and coffee. Ah, but that's too much trouble, isn't it?
Oh, I don't think so. Joyce can help me serve, and I have gold medal flour and Betty Crocker recipes for my baking. It's the only flour I need for everything. It's so dependable.
June isn't the only one who depends on Gold Medal. Women buy more sacks of Gold Medal flour than the next 5 brands combined. Good cooks know that no matter what you bake, you can depend on Gold Medal's superb baking qualities. Always get Gold Medal kitchen-tested, enriched flour. Your grocer has it in convenient 2-pound, 5-pound, and 10-pound sacks, and in large family sizes. Betty Crocker tested recipes and a valuable coupon good for silverware or a Betty Crocker cookbook come in every sack. Ask for Gold Medal, the only flour you need for everything you bake. Be with us again next week when Gold Medal, America's #1 all-purpose flour, and Wheaties Breakfast of Champions present Trouble with Father.
They sure eat 'em at Ben Hogan's house. Bob Feller will tell you they're the best ever. Yes, champions say new Wheaties are better than ever. Know why? Because new Wheaties are super flaked, made a new way to give you bigger, brighter, better whole wheat flakes. Get new Wheaties. Try 'em. Champions say they're the best ever.
Good knock. June, you and I are going to kick up our heels.
Kick up what?
We're going out, see the world. What does it look like after the dishes are done?
Very tempting, but no thank you. I have enough to do to keep me busy.
That's exactly what I mean. You're going out, girlie, and no buts. Come on, get your coat.
But where are we going?
No man's land. There's a meeting of something or other over at Muriel Conway's. It's time you and I behave like first-class citizens. We've got the vote, haven't we? Lincoln freed the slaves, didn't he? Adele, really? Come on, we're busting loose, girlie. We're busting loose.
Yes, June, I did plan to stay home tonight. You've joined the Iron Lung Society. Yes, I know the world needs iron lungs.
Anybody home? Well, hello, Adele. Sit down. Oh, family deserted you again, I see. Now, Adele, don't be loyal, darling. You're high and dry. What do you think my family's been doing? Harry just goes his merry way. Ruined your dinner, too. At these prices. But if people think Stu's important enough to... You mean Stu thinks he's important enough to be important? No, don't now Adele me. Stu's no different from Harry or any other man. He just likes attention. Well, so do I, and so do you. Would you like some pineapple sherbet? I would.
But if we eat out anymore, we'll need iron stomachs. Oh, no. You go right along. We'll manage. Goodbye.
Medal, America's #1 all-purpose flour, and Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, present June and Stu Irwin in Trouble with Father.
Hi there, I'm Mike Fitzmaurice. Broadcasting these games for you, I get to watch lots of champs. And you know, what sparks a champion sparks you. And champions choose Wheaties. Look, I'll show you what I mean.
Here's a sight you may never see again, but even though the great DeMage has retired from baseball, the magic of television can bring him back in one of his most thrilling performances. Now he's all set. Here comes the pitch. It's a hit. It's out there. It's going. A terrific home run way out there in the stands. This is the spark of a champion, and Joe DiMaggio really has it. He still powers up with Wheaties.
And what sparks a champion sparks you. There's that same driving power for you in Wheaties with milk and fruit, ready to spark you at whatever you do, because there's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Let's look inside this ripe wheat kernel and find out why. The bran is loaded with vitamins and minerals and good rich protein. Here's the energy in the endosperm. Wheaties gives you all the grain because there's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Don't be satisfied with less. Remember, what sparks a champion sparks you. And champions choose Wheaties. Breakfast of Champions.